Remember I mentioned just before we went back to the studio about Wexford and Tipperary meeting in 2007 in Croke Park. Tipperary lost. Guess who was in charge? James McGrath from Turin County Westmeath. 33-year-old, 10 years in the National Committee. And down at the other end there's a little bit of a party goes on. There's two helmets are now discarded. Down at the other end it is Lark Corbett, and that's the opening score for Tipperary.
Yeah, a bit of nonsense there off the ball. The two of them Declan Fanning and Banville pulled the helmets off each other, whatever that's about, but James McGrath's going in there now.
Well, you can see a little bit of blood coming in. Declan Fanning.
Banville pulled a bit of a stroke as well, yeah. Depends what the umpires say now.
Well, the umpires, this was clearly in the vision of the umpires.
2 yellows, I'd suspect.
Both helmets gone. Referee James McGrath will have to act assertively. He's consulted with his umpires. Now, straight red, yellow. Michael Dagnan?
It depends what the umpire said. It was a bit of a strike there, but I'd say 2 yellows is what I expect.
Well, James McGrath, the youngest, one of the youngest referees, second youngest, I think, in the national level. Growing reputation. It's a yellow for Stephen Banville. Declan Fanning has gone off and he's going to get some medical attention. A blood substitute is now required for the fullback.
I want to have a look at another incident. This happened right at the start of the match. You remember Banville got involved with the Tipperary full-back in this, and I think, you know, as the touch of the Paul Galvin's about this, there could be repercussions maybe during the week.
Yeah, I mean, when we see it again, you know, I mean, everybody is uptight at the start of the match, and look, there was a bit of handbag stick, but look here, look, there was a clear strike here, right? I mean, with the Hurling, right, first, right? Now, this is an issue, Michael, that I have been advocating for the last couple of months. I mean, this helmet situation, when guys get themselves involved like that, the first reaction they're at now is pulling the helmet off some guys. And we see the situation here. Declan Fanning was not able to come back on the field again, right, because of the head injury. I mean, it wasn't from a belt of the Hurley, it was actually from pulling the helmet off his head. And at one stage, when you see the helmet being torn off, it was actually his nose nearly was coming away with it as well. Yeah. And we're seeing so much of that in the last couple of weeks, right? I mean, I think you mentioned something about in the US.
American footballers in the piece, you know? They have a helmet in violation, I think they call it. Yeah, you actually touching a player.
You can't actually touch the helmet. Don't mind pull or drag it
off. Exactly. Yeah.
Tomas is right. Since the helmet has come in, you see it in club as well. I see it in Galway. Like, the first thing a person goes for now is the cage and pull him by the head and drag him to the ground to give you control of him. But it's frustrating to think that Dermot Ling is sitting above in the stand today and he can't participate in this game, and he got a straight red card, and those two players are allowed to remain on the field.
I mean, it was clear. I mean, there was a strike with the Hurley from Banville first, right? Then Declan Fanning reacts to his retaliation. He pulls the helmet off as well. So, I mean, like Banville was involved in the helmet situation, the same as Declan Fanning was as well. But there was a clear strike, and the situation. Okay, if the referee doesn't see it, Michael, they're out in front of two umpires. Right, looking at that clearly, you know, and we've seen over the last couple of days, Peter's right, fellas have got sent off for something similar, you know, so again, it remains to be seen whether anything will happen.
I suppose the ref can only do what he can do at the time. He has to make a judgment call at the time. Is there some facility that should be there, Pete, afterwards to come back and say, you know, that wasn't as bad as it looked originally, or are we asking for too much?
You're asking for too much, really, don't you know? But you'd be expecting, as the Moss says, there's two people in white coats. They've nothing else to do except for patrol what's in front of them. But instead, what they're doing is they're below watching a ball that they can control. They've no decision to make on it. Instead of looking out, and that went on from what, maybe 30 seconds?
30 seconds, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, again, Pete, I've been saying as well the last week, we've been seeing too many red cards in hurling. I hate to see red cards in hurling and stuff. But if there's going to be consistency, what has happened over the last couple of weeks, we haven't seen it here today in that incident, certainly.
Nobody wants to see that in hurling, and I accept that. I thought they should have got a red card each, both of them, because in fairness, Banville did start it, but Declan Fanning continued it on then afterwards, and he was the one who caught the helmet first, and then Banville reacted to that. It went on long enough for the umpires to see it, and as you said, the umpire or the referee can only do make a decision on what's told to him. We have seven officials at the game.
That's right.
You know, and when does the linesman ever step in and say, look, this is going on here or that's going on there? Never. You know, give them more responsibility.
All right, we take another short break here on the programme. Back with the second half of Tipperary and Wexford right after that.